All right, welcome. Here we are in Palm Springs and getting ready to take a very short flight to San Diego, just 100 miles, 102 nautical miles, probably about 20 minutes. So let's get started and get in the air and get to San Diego, hopefully before the sun sets. Let's get in the cockpit and let's start her up. We're obviously going to need pushback on this one because we're nestled right up against the trees here, as you can see. So we will, first and foremost, as usual, fix our camera. And then we'll go ahead and turn the batteries on, generators. We'll wait for TAWS system test OK, get the APU going. Flying at 16,000 feet on this flight. It's quick. We'll set that on our altitude selector. And because I expect pushback here to happen momentarily, we'll go ahead and release our parking brake. Get our recognition and anti-collision lights on. Try to do this expeditiously.
System test. Okay.
APU still because I never did it. Oh, it's been one of those weekends. Sorry. Go ahead and just calibrate our altimeter. 29902 is actually 3019. That's done. Nav source FMS, bearing 1 GPS. PFD settings, wind option 2. Speed bugs, VY 195. Enter that. Minimums. Actually, let's make sure all on. Okay. Minimums in San Diego, 258. Beautiful weather here today in Southern California, so we're not going to have any issues as it relates to weather in any way. Here comes pushback. Set our VS at 3,500 feet per minute. That's done. Set our speed management. Go over to manual. If you leave it at FMS, you're not going to be able to do diddly. Okay. Hopefully the pushback happens. We actually do need it for this. Otherwise we're going to have a building collision. There we go. Thank goodness. Yeah, they let you get away with a lot in this game in terms of all the scenery, the active scenery on the airport that they put in there to make it look cool. And it's fun to have it, and it's great to see it. But, you know, when you don't do anything wrong and you can't park because there's 50,000 fire trucks or little Cessna 152s floating around blocking the way, that can get frustrating. But there are certain objects that you just can't collide with, buildings among them. So that's important. All right. Go ahead and fire up the engines. Start with the right. Let that spool up. See that number coming up right there? One notch of flaps. Flight directors on both screens. Good to go. Pitot heat. All right. Okay. Now it's just a question of waiting for the engine to get to 60 and 2% on the right engine at 60. It's coming up nicely. Turn the lights on here in the cockpit. Kind of dark. Finally, in local time, it's 4:22 Pacific Standard, and we're in Palm Springs, so that's the time here as well. Sun's going down. Okay, right engine now spooled up. Let's do the left. Let that come up. There it goes. And while that's spooling up, we'll start taxiing. Look outside just real quick, see which way they want us to go. Okay. Don't have any help on that. Let's see if we can get a little help here. Back to clearance. Taxi IFR. There's our, there we go. All right, so we'll just turn left here, like this, head over here. See if we lost our camera. Yep, we sure did. Switch that back to manual. Okay, let's go. Our taxi lights on. Let's roll. Okay. It's cool how this portion of the mountain range to the east of me is in the shadow, but you can actually see how the sun is sort of coming in over those ridge lines, and if you look over here, those mountains are still in the sun. That is really cool. Windsor out of the north. So we're going to take off runway 31. 31 left specifically, same runway we landed on yesterday. For this short flight to San Diego, I would remind you that I have a mixed history with San Diego's airport. It is an add-on airport. That is, I purchased on the marketplace the modified scenery for San Diego, and my first landing there in the TBM was a catastrophe. I did everything right, but I don't know, the sim couldn't interpret the data, the terrain data, and it somehow thought that I was landing on a very bumpy surface, nearly caused us to crash. In reality, I was not. I was landing on a perfectly flat runway, so that can be a little alarming. That's where we're taking off right there. You can see it. All right. Let's get in the air. Looks like there's a lot of planes in the sky. Yeah, not surprising. A Sunday afternoon. Beautiful day. Stop here on the bars.
Approaching runway 31 left.
I'm a little confused here in terms of where they want us to go. We should be taking off on 31 left. It looks like we've...
Runway 31 left. 9,800 feet remaining.
Looks like they want us taking off at 31 right. Okay, well, nothing if not a surprise. It's not entirely clear where they're routing us. Well, only one way to find out. Oh, I like how taxi is written across the taxiway right there. That's interesting. Boy, look at that. Look at the mountain. Valley up ahead, those wind turbines. That says 13 left, but that's wrong. We're not taking off from 13 left. Apparently we're taking off from 31 right. That's not what I would prefer. But let's give it our best shot. We'll keep the brakes on while we spool up, just to it's a shorter runway. It's long enough, but it is a little shorter. All right, here we go. I did think we were going out of 31 left, so Now we'll stop on these bars, get our clearance.
Approaching runway 31 right.
Okay, there's our clearance. Make sure nobody's... No, it's not for us. Okay. Right, left, landing lights, pulse light on, tail flood. All right, you ready, everybody? We'll get our timer set to go, and let's get to San Diego, quick. Okay.
Enter runway 31 right. 4,900 feet remaining.
4,900 feet remaining. That is a shorter runway than I would prefer, but this airplane's got the ability to do it, so we'll do it. But I will hold the brakes while we spool up. Sync our heading bug. Let's go. Brakes, and we're firing it up. Release. Your speed's alive already. 60. 80 knots. 120. 130. 150, and rotate. Positive rate, gear up. See if we have the same problems we've been having with the autopilot activating it. Yeah, worked perfectly this time. Activate the auto throttle. Start a right turn. That mouse wheel just drives you crazy, doesn't it? God damn it. Activate nav. Start that right turn. Gears up, flaps retracted now. Look at that desert. Look at the wind turbines. Jesus. Zoom out on this. That's better. Start up in our speed here. Switch over to FLC. Switch it. Set it at 240. There we go. Landing lights. I'm gonna go up and over these mountains. Be in San Diego in no time. Passing through 6,000. Look how we just came into the sunlight. Did you notice that? We climbed up out of the shadow. That is sweet. Look at that. Hold on, let's go outside for a screenshot. Get the sunset. Oh! Screenshot. I just love it. Wow. Start increasing our speed. Now we're above 10,000. Set it at 310. Ugh. God.
Destination Vegas is 134.8.
already getting destination ATIS information. We're still in climb up, but we're going to be at 16,000 feet here in a jiffy. Man, this thing climbs fast. Can't even tell. What is it climbing at? 3,900? Sounds about right. I love how the sun plays across the instrument panel. That just never gets old. All right. Now we're zooming our way to San Diego. Take a look. The winds are out of the northeast in San Diego this afternoon. So we're going to heading over TRM's thermal. That's actually the departure we're flying today. The standard instrument departure, SID. It's thermal. Headed towards the Salton Sea, which you can actually see right out in front of the airplane right now. But we'll turn right before we get there, as you can see. Head west, out over the Pacific briefly, before we turn around, head east to land at runway 09. Now, the approach path that appeared in the setup page when I selected the ILS approach into San Diego was real goofy. It had all sorts of weird turns happening out here over SARGs. So I chose, at least as far as the sim is concerned, the RNAV approach. But there is a ILS frequency for runway 09, which is 111.55. So we're going to use an ILS frequency that we know exists, but that doesn't have us doing any sort of weird, goofy turns that aren't necessary over the Pacific. Look at that. Oh, good gracious. There's the Salton Sea. And there's the sunset. Screenshot. Oh my God. I mean, is it just me or the... is that impressive? Screenshot. I just this game. It's incredible. Increase our speed even more. Get up into the barber pole tape. Right here. Make this flight even shorter. All right. So, meanwhile, details on San Diego ILS 09 Yankee. Frequency is 111.5. Runway length 9,400 feet. Minimums are 258. We already entered that. Approach course 095. At Gatto, right here, we want to be at 2,100 feet. So, note to self. I just can't get over how good this looks. I just keep wanting to take screenshots. I think that there's that's where we took off from. Maybe that is. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, the one in the distance is. Yeah, that one. Anyway, I think that I get more of a... There's the Pacific, by the way. I get a real... I mean, I love everything about the scenery in this game, but it's particularly interesting when you know it, when you know the area. I just can't tell you how many times I've seen these mountains. it captures the desert feeling that any Southern Californian could attest to when you're in this area of our state. "16,000 feet. Want to start our descent at about 53 miles. We're at 73 miles right now, so all good. Probably going to land in about 18 minutes. That would be my estimate. I do have a little bit of, I touched on this earlier, there had been some scenery glitches. With this San Diego airport, Lindbergh Field Airport. But I did it several more times after that initial landing where the plane reacted as if it had, I don't know how to describe it, landed on speed bumps, effectively, big speed bumps. The plane, the TBM I was landing there, landed, touched down, and then violently pitched up. There was a tail strike. It was a nightmare. I mean, it's nothing more frustrating than that when you're doing everything right. Anyway, I redid it several times to see if I could, duplicate the issue or the problem, but it because I was ready to raise hell. But it never happened again. So you'll find out with me if it's going to happen today in the longitude. Let's hope not. I don't want it to happen. It's no fun. It spoils the party. But the scenery, I should point out, is not just the airport. It is the greater San Diego area that's modified. And it's very impressive. My PC seems to handle it. I've noticed a little stuttering on this, with this kind of scenery density, but I don't care. I was raised on 22 frames per second. That was good. 30 frames per second was unheard of. So kids these days, they think that's crazy, but it looks fine to me. Go ahead and set our heading bug at our approach course of 0905. Just as sort of a reminder. You see that Scion shape there. It's called a bug, speed bug, or heading bug in this case. That represents the direction we will be heading when we're on final approach. Go ahead and switch our bearing 1 over to nav 1. All that does is affect this. In other words, it doesn't have any impact on the actual navigation of the aircraft. It just affects the information you're receiving. Okay, 53 miles. Time to start slowing down and beginning our descent. Set our altitude at 500. While we fight with the mouse wheel. Froze. Oh, did you see that? I thought we had a CTD. Oh, shit. Oh my god, that freaked me out. Okay, we're beginning our descent. That was a pretty chunky freeze there. I haven't had a crash to desktop in months, so that scared me. Got to slow to 250 or less below 10,000. We're at 15,000 now. Just keep gradually slowing it. The problem is that the control knobs are very close together, so you get movement of the aircraft and it causes you to switch this from man to FMS, and that fucks up your speed control. So you just got to be careful. .280 right now. Look at that sunset. I got to take a screenshot. One more. I'm sorry. Just so impressive. That and let me just assure you, that's what it looks like right now. I mean, I'm not in San Diego. I'm north of San Diego, about 100 miles, south of LA, about 30 miles. But it's this kind of day. It is this kind of day. Outside air temperature in my backyard right now is 71 degrees. Clear skies, 31% humidity. It's a nice, beautiful day, to put it mildly. Weather in San Diego, to the extent you are curious, 70 degrees. Nice. Winds showing out of the northwest, 5 miles an hour, at least on live weather. But in the sim, they were out of the northeast. So let's hope we don't cause too much trouble by landing on runway 09. 11,200 feet now. Slowing, continuing to slow. Showing us about 8 or 9 minutes now. This may be one of the shortest flights I've done, now that I think about it, at least in the longitude. Okay, we've got our speed set at 250 as we're just about to pass below 10,000. 30 miles out, we want to be at 9,000 feet. We're at 10,100 feet right now and 35 miles out. Shallow out slightly to 1,800 feet per minute. Continue slowing. There's the beautiful, beautiful Pacific. Then even more incredible sunset. Getting ready to make our big U-turn, so let's keep slowing down. 31 miles out and 8,800 feet, so we can slow it down. Obviously, the airport's at sea level.
Landing gear.
There's that sun. You know, it is moving, by the way. There you can actually see it. It's actually moving. How did they make this game? Okay, we're going to deploy the speed brakes now and bring us down, bring our speed down.
Landing gear.
Just
Landing
put
gear.
up with that for a second.
Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear.
Bring those speed brakes in. Okay, we're looking good. Continue slowing. Wow. All right. It's going to be a pretty quick one. We do have ILS data now, showing us 15.8 nautical miles from the airport. My only thing, look at how the sun's continuing. Oh, God. Only thing I'm anxious about, let's get our landing lights on, is that terrain glitchiness in San Diego. I just took a bit of a gamble doing this, but hopefully it works out. Winds are coming from behind us. That's promising in terms of the fact that we're about to make a big U-turn and head into those winds. That's what we want to do. That cyan arrow right there pointing towards the ILS frequency and thus the airport. 25 miles, 6,700 feet. Looking good. Downtown San Diego right there. That's the airport. Let's get this bird on the ground before sun sets. Bracing ourselves for our left turn. No, we won't depressurize yet. That sun's sinking fast. Sometimes you can scarcely believe it's real. Recalibrate the altimeter, 3002. 23 miles, 6,050 feet. Getting ready for that turn. Look at us. Now over the coast now, Interstate 5. Catalina Island out there. Actually just make out my favorite mountain, Santiago Peak. Southern Orange County. Okay. We're just about ready to start making that turn. Remember at Gatto, we want to be at 2,100 feet. Gatto's right here. We're headed to Sargs. Sargs, we're 37 seconds from Sargs. Increase our descent rate a little and continue slowing. Do 1 notch of flaps. Starting the left turn. Actually see the runway right there. I said starting that left turn. I really mean it. There it goes. Looks like we're going to get on the ground just with a hint of daylight left in San Diego. Nice, gentle left turn. Showing us now 27 seconds from Sargs. After Sargs, we go to Gatto. After Gatto, we go to the airport. Boy, this is a pretty gentle turn. A fighter plane, we are not. Getting ready to switch us over to APPR. Just about ready to switch to APPR as we get to the top of this arc. Right here. All right. Switch this nav 1. Whoops. Damn. Okay, there we go. Showing us high on the glide slope. That's good. 3,800 feet. Remember, 2,100 feet at Gatto. There's the airport. Right there. Another notch of flaps.
Landing gear.
And we'll put our gear down. Start getting set up here on our views. Wow. That's where we're going. Look outside. Oh, look at that. Have one more notch of flaps before we're fully configured, but what a beautiful airplane. Oh, I love the sun through the windows. Oh my God. What is there to say? All right, it's getting dark fast. Let's see, we got our CDI information is correct. This green line will start to move over. The glide slope's coming down. Hopefully we'll just on the cusp of intercepting the glide slope here. Little lateral of it, but it should be okay. As this drifts, this white GS will turn green. And then we'll put down more flaps. Intercepting the localizer right now. See how it's drifting down? As it gets to center, it should intercept the glide slope. Start slowing more. Full flaps. That's all perfectly normal. There! Just grabbed it. Boom. Right there. Perfect. Excellent. Good, 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 good. Now it just needs to... It needs a little correction to get lined up. You can kind of see. Let's pop up. Let's depressurize. If we got full flaps, we got gear down. Confirmed. Airspeed's perfect. 151. Autopilot's kind of correcting for that turn. There, you see that line barely moving as it lines up. Got a little crosswind, 6 knots, coming at us from like this. But this is confirmation that the that the winds are from the northeast, and thus we would not be landing towards the ocean. We would be landing from the ocean towards the land. Looks really good right now. Glide slope information indicates dead center. Airspeed's perfect. Here's our runway. We got, looks like 1 white. No, 2 whites, 2 reds on the Poppy. That's excellent. So now the only thing that remains to spoil this party is some sort of a weird terrain glitch. Look at that. Looks like an LNG ship. That's awesome. Okay. Disconnect auto throttle. Recalibrate. There we go. And we'll disconnect the autopilot when we hear the 500 call out. Right now we're altitude's showing us at 1,900 feet. This is, I mean, just a beautiful. Let's look out the right side. What do you say? Oh my goodness. Wow. Wow. Passenger view. Looking really good. Zoom in here. Let's get ready for a... I recall parking being off to the left last time I was here. Last couple times. Which is no guarantee. Wow. We'll hear 500. Just a second.
2 mile final runway 09.
Wow. God. Amazing. Please don't have a scenery glitch. This has gone so well. Airspeed's perfect. 149.
500.
Autopilot
500.
disengaged.
500.
Coming in over hills. That's why you're hearing it repeatedly. Got 1 white, 3 reds. I do see 4 reds in the Poppy. I do. Just don't want to go long. Whew. Oof. Nailed it. Let's Spoilers are up. Reverse thrusters deployed. Come on, come on. Hold on now. No scenery glitches. Work with me, baby. Work with me. Yes! Fantastic. Oh, fantastic. All right, there's an airplane. That's right. That was funny. He was taking off from the wrong runway, just for the record. I'm sorry, but you don't take off with a tailwind. At least, oh, there's another airplane. Okay, I think I mentioned that, or I don't know if I mentioned this or not, but San Diego, Lindbergh, is a very popular airport with the simmers because it's modified, and so it's great scenery, so people love it. So anyway, you get people, I don't know, the active runway at San Diego at Lindbergh right now is 09, not 27. So that was funny. Thank God for the fact that the collision modeling doesn't include airplanes. All right, let's bring those. Well, there's somebody else landing right there. Well, there's planes all over the place, aren't there? All right, let's bring those spoilers down, and we'll bring our flaps in. We'll go back inside, and we'll turn off our landing lights, turn on our taxi lights, turn off our pulse lights, and we'll taxi to parking. With apologies to my fellow simmers. Although, did I crash into you, or did you crash into me? Parking was off to the left, as I suspected. Look at downtown. Oh, man. I love that. Look at that. Look at the buildings. Awesome. It's actually a flag right there. Okay, sorry, I gotta park. Let's park this baby. Start the 4-hour upload. Oh, this was fun. This was fun. Oh, you know what? Let's stop our timer. Timer. Stop. Yeah, nice little, probably 28 minutes. 28-minute flight. Boy, that's a nice way to get to Palm Springs to San Diego in 28 minutes. That beats driving. Okay. Now we're back at the Pacific. I wonder if we'll get flashlight help today or not. It's always in doubt in the sim. That was hilarious how that airplane came upon us. That cracked me up. It's always a risk. Look, you see what I'm talking about? See, let me just illustrate my point. Look at this. Look at this. Here's somebody. Here's somebody. Here's somebody. Look at this. I mean, it's Grand Central Station. Everybody's all over the place. That's funny. Well, to the extent that anybody watched, any fellow simmers watched, they watched a nice greaser of a landing. Honestly, I thought that was pretty damn good. All right, come on already. All right, we're only 0.08 of a mile from parking, so let's get parked. I don't know where to next. I think I'm probably just going to head to John Wayne, KSNA. I haven't landed there in the longitude yet, and it's my home airport, so it's high time I did. Okay, just following these yellow lines right here on the ground. Other planes are on final to 09, by the way. Just let me make that point in my own defense. Ooh, nice. Lots of jets here. Finally among friends. See, now, this is what I'm talking about. What? They just have the goofiest ways to get to these parking spots. Why am I going around this way when he's over here? kill this guy. Oh my god, there's airplanes everywhere. There we go. I'm gonna take this for what I... Oh, what do you know? We got it. We did it. Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry, pal. Let's see. Did we kill him? No, we didn't kill him. He's fine. And we're parked. I'll take it. We're parked with our friends. Look at that. Oof. Nice. This plane does not appear to have any engine. Interesting. Alright. Okay. Enough of this. There's that. Lights. And last but not least. Okay. There we are. Alright, thanks everybody. I enjoyed it, as I always enjoy it. This game. And watching these videos later is very valuable to me. Just have to remember how to... There we go. That's it. It's Sunday night, so have a great week. More flights to come.